Hi there, I'd like to welcome you to my blog. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Katara Wilson. I am a stay-at-home wife, a homeschooling mom to two great kids, and an entrepreneur. And since you're here, I'd like to ask you a question. Who are you? Now, most of you probably answered with your name. I'm Lisa, I'm Maggie, I'm Tanya, and that's great, but that's not the answer I was looking for. So I'm going to try again. Who are you? Now, by this time, you're probably thinking, okay, this chick is crazy. I just told you who I am. But since that wasn't good enough, Katara, I'm a wife. I'm a mom like you. I'm an attorney. I'm a teacher. I'm a daughter. I'm a volunteer at my church. I'm a secretary. And those are great answers. But those are your roles, or what I like to call your roads of definition. And while they are good answers and true answers, still not the answer that I'm looking for. The truth is that there is a part of us that is natural and is authentic and is who we really are at our core. That part of us, before we put on those robes of definition of being a wife, a mother, a career woman, a volunteer, all of those definitions, they are truly a part of who we are, but they are not who we are. Let me help you understand this a little bit more. Let's say, for example, that since you were a little girl, you were someone who, when something was so gut-wrenching funny, you would snort when you would laugh. And as a kid, that was perfectly fine and normal, and it was wonderful to see and hear you laugh because it just meant that something tickled you so much from the inside out and just really touched you to the point that you had uncontrollable laughter with snorting. And that's okay because that's who you are. But as you got older and you started being more visible in the community and more self-conscious and aware of things going on around you, you decided that that wasn't so cool. And you just didn't snort as much. You controlled your laughter. You suppressed who you truly are. Now, once you, say, got married, became comfortable with your husband, he knew the true you, but no one else did. And let's say you guys have had kids and he's on a fast track to being CEO in his career path, and you don't want to be that wife who everybody is talking about at the cocktail party on the Monday morning after saying, "Did you hear Jim's wife at the party on Saturday night? So-and-so told a joke and she just started snorting." Or you don't want to be the mom out on the soccer field or the mom at the ballet recital who's having a good conversation with other parents and something just tickles you in a way that just catches you off guard and you begin to snort. You don't want to be that mom. You don't want to be that wife. So you suppress who you truly are because you do not want to tarnish those robes of definition or those roles that you have as the wife of an up-and-coming CEO, as the mom of little Johnny over here, or as the mom of Sarah. You don't want to be that woman. You would rather be that woman who you have now become. You're very reserved and careful and cautious of laughter, your own laughter, and how, even though something may touch your soul in a way that is truly funny, you fight very hard. You're fighting against who you really are, not to laugh because you don't want to snort. Okay, let's have another example. Let's say that before you became the woman that you are now, you were someone who used to love to paint or draw. It was just something that was naturally in you, that just was a beautiful talent. It was a hobby, something that you just loved to do, and you could spend hours creating wonderful creations. Well, you know, life happens. You've become a career woman. Perhaps you are a mom and a wife, and again, you're putting your own natural abilities to the side, but this time for different reasons. Let's say you are a wife and mom, and again, your husband is on the fast track in his career. Everything that you do is about supporting him and uplifting him so that he can be successful. And that's great. That's a good supportive wife. Or let's say that you've got your kids involved in all these activities. They're in soccer and taekwondo and swimming and ballet and tap and sports, and they're doing all of these things, and your thought is, oh, well, you know, I've had my chance. I had my opportunity. It's their turn now. It's their time. I didn't have all of these opportunities. I want them to have and know and experience more than I did. So I'm nurturing their development. But in the midst of you catering to your husband, to your children, to your church where you volunteer, to everything and everyone else around you, what happened to you? What happened to that love that you had of painting or drawing, that part of you that was so real and authentic? And that's the point that I'm getting at, is that inside each of us, there are things that are innately within us that have nothing to do with the names our parents gave us, that have nothing to do with the roles that we define ourselves as. Now, don't get me wrong, our roles are very important. Now, I take my role as a wife and a mother very seriously. I do. But they are not who I am on the inside. They are a part of me, but they're not who I am at the core. And there was a woman who was alive within me before I became a wife, before I became a mother, just as I'm sure that you are here today because you realize that there is something missing, and perhaps it is because you have lost touch with who you are at your very core. It is your soul essence, your being, your authentic true self. And I understand that, and I know that because I am on this journey myself. When it happened to me, when I couldn't figure out what was going on with me, I felt confused and lost and unhappy and just hopeless. I didn't know what was going on with me, and I called it an early midlife crisis, now what I like to call a celebration, because I am celebrating life. I'm starting to understand who I am. I'm getting back in touch with who I truly am at my core, and I am really learning not to worry about what those roles of definition or robes of definition that I have to do with who I am at my core. So let me tell you a little bit about who I am. See, in the beginning, I told you I am a California girl. I am a wife. I am a mother. Yes, those are my roles. But at my core, I'm goofy. I'm a goofy person. I like to be silly and have fun. That's who I am. And that's just the way that I've always been. But sometimes in our roles, it's not appropriate to be goofy. But you know what? I need to make the most of the time that I have. I need to really stand in integrity of who I am. And if I'm goofy, I'm goofy. Another part of who I am is that I have a natural gift for writing. That was the gift that was given to me. Now, for a long time, I've been suppressing it because I feel like, oh, well, I don't know if that's what I meant to do. It doesn't matter whether it was what I was meant to do. It's what I know how to do. So, if that's my natural gift and ability, I need to nurture it. I need to be thankful and grateful and appreciative for that gift that I have been blessed with and make use of it. And I do. I do write. I write in many different ways. It may not be in the way that I always thought or imagined, but I do write in some form and in some way, and it brings me joy. It brings me pleasure. So those are just a couple little tidbits of who I am, truly, authentically, who I am. I'm a goofy writer, and I want to know, who are you? I created this for you. I created this for women like me because I know I'm not the only one out there going through this. And I certainly look forward to connecting with you in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.